get real-time Secretary of State data. So we offer real-time, as in whatever reflects on the Secretary of State, we are going to have it for you. We can even get screenshots. So that data will be there available as screenshots, documents where it's available, officers where it's available. We're going to get all the data that you can get from the Secretary of State. We can get it. We have integrations into all 51 states. And when a business registers, when they start, they have to register their business. And the Secretary of State tracks things, especially, this is what most people want, is things like the status, like is the business in good standing? And this is to help them assess risk. The big things they're looking for are fraud. Is this business real or is it not real? We went through and we did a research project where we wanted to find all the different statuses that exist with the Secretary of State. We found 402 different statuses in all 50 states. This is kind of a big deal. Let's say that you, as the savvy commercial underwriter you are underwriting a business for a commercial loan, and you see the status come back from the Secretary of State as suspended. What does that mean? Is that a concern? Should you hold off on this loan when everything else looks great? Well, we're going to talk about this more in this video. So it's really important that you understand the different statuses that each Secretary of State provides and what they mean. Today, we're going to walk through the statuses specific to a certain state. Indiana's 28 business entity statuses you need to know. Number 1, active. The entity is currently operational and in good standing, having met all regulatory and legal requirements. This status generally indicates a lower risk for lenders, as it suggests the business is compliant and likely to be financially stable. Let's proceed to number 2, admin dissolved. The entity has been administratively dissolved by the state due to failure to comply with legal obligations, such as filing required reports or paying fees. Lenders should be cautious with these entities, as this status indicates non-compliance and potential financial instability. Number 3, inactive. The entity is no longer active, but it has not been formally dissolved. This status might indicate that the entity is not currently conducting business. Lenders should be wary of inactive entities, as they may not have current income or assets to support loan repayment. Let's proceed to number 4, canceled. The entity's registration or a specific filing has been officially canceled, often at the entity's request or due to non-compliance. This status suggests the business is no longer operating legally, posing a high risk for lenders. Number 5, voluntarily dissolved. The entity has been dissolved by the owners or members voluntarily and is no longer operational. Lenders should avoid extending credit to voluntarily dissolved entities, as they have ceased operations and likely have no means of repayment. Let's proceed to number 6, revoked. The entity's right to conduct business in Indiana has been revoked due to non-compliance with state regulations. This status indicates serious compliance issues and high risk for lenders, as the business cannot legally operate. Number 7, withdrawn. The entity has voluntarily withdrawn its registration and is no longer authorized to do business in the state. Lenders should be cautious, as this status suggests the business may have ceased operations in Indiana. Now let's proceed to number 8. The entity has merged with another and no longer exists as a separate entity. Lenders should reassess the creditworthiness of the resulting entity, as the merger may have impacted financial stability and operational structure. Number 9, judicially dissolved. The entity has been dissolved by court order, often due to legal disputes or regulatory issues. This status indicates severe problems and high risk for lenders, as the business has been forcibly closed by legal action. Let's proceed to number 10, non-qualified merged. The entity has merged but did not meet all the necessary qualifications, possibly in the context of foreign entities. Lenders should carefully evaluate the resulting entity's legal status and financial stability before considering any lending decisions. Number 11, surrendered. The entity has surrendered its right to operate, often in connection with withdrawing from the state. This status suggests the business is no longer operating in Indiana, posing significant risk for lenders. Now let's proceed to number 12, reserved. A name or entity status has been reserved, indicating that it may be used in the future, but is not currently active. Lenders should note that this status does not represent an operational business and should not be considered for lending. Number 13, expired. The entity's registration or name reservation has expired, usually due to failure to renew. The status indicates potential compliance issues and operational instability, increasing risk for lenders. Let's proceed to number 14. Abandoned. The entity or a specific filing has been abandoned, typically meaning it was never completed or finalized. Lenders should be cautious of abandoned entities, as they may not represent fully formed or operational businesses. Number 15. Converted. The entity has undergone a legal conversion to another type of entity, for example, from an LLC to a corporation. Lenders should reassess the new entity structure and its implications for creditworthiness and liability. Let's proceed to number 16. pending admin dissolution. The entity is in the process of being administratively dissolved, usually due to non-compliance. This status indicates significant risk for lenders, as the business is likely facing compliance issues and potential closure. Number 17, pending revocation. The entity's status is under review and may be revoked if compliance issues are not resolved. Lenders should be cautious, as this status suggests potential regulatory problems that could affect the business's ability to operate. Now let's proceed to number 18. Pending conversion. The entity is in the process of converting to another type of entity. Lenders should wait for the conversion to complete before making lending decisions, as the new structure may affect creditworthiness and liability. Number 19, converted out. The entity is converted out of its original form and is no longer recognized in its previous structure. Lenders should reassess the new entity structure and its implications for creditworthiness and operational stability. Let's proceed to number 20, pending. The entity's filing or status is pending and has not yet been finalized. Lenders should wait for the final status before making lending decisions, as the outcome may affect the entity's legal standing and operational capabilities. Number 21, past due. The entity has missed a filing deadline or payment and is at risk of further penalties or dissolution. This status indicates potential financial instability or compliance issues, increasing risk for lenders. Let's proceed to number 22, pending domestication. The entity is in the process of changing its jurisdiction from another state or country to Indiana. Lenders should wait for the domestication to complete and assess the implications of the jurisdictional change on the entity's legal status and operations. Number 23, pending surrender. The entity has filed to surrender its registration, but the process is not yet complete. Lenders should be cautious, as this status suggests the business intends to cease operations in Indiana. Let's proceed to number 24, pending merger. The entity is in the process of merging with another entity. Lenders should wait for the merger to complete and reassess the resulting entity's financial stability and operational structure before making lending decisions. Number 25, voluntarily dissolved, name protected. The entity has been voluntarily dissolved, but its name is protected and cannot be used by another entity for a specific period. Lenders should avoid extending credit to these entities, as they have ceased operations despite name protection. Let's proceed to number 26, pending share exchange. The entity is involved in a pending share exchange process, typically related to restructuring or mergers. Lenders should wait for the share exchange to complete and evaluate its impact on the entity's ownership structure and financial stability. Number 27, NSF, non-sufficient funds. The entity has attempted a transaction such as a payment that was not completed due to insufficient funds. This status indicates potential financial instability and increased risk for lenders. Number 28, terminated. The entity's existence has been formally terminated and it no longer exists as a legal entity. Lenders should not consider terminated entities for lending, as they have ceased to exist legally and have no means of repayment. All right, let's look at an example if we wanted to do something like this, and kind of how Cobalt Intelligence can help you with this. This right here is an example using this API. Now, Cobalt Intelligence is an API first, where the idea is that you can get all this data via API and get it integrated right into your system. Let's say you search for this business, 199 Franklin RC in California. So we're gonna hit send, and this is what we get back. Now, the status is suspended FTB, and this right here, specifically for California, is the Franchise Tax Board, which means it's delinquent with its taxes in California. Not enough to be terminated, but enough to put it in suspension. So this is somewhat of a risk here. Now, this could be hard to go through because, like we said, there's 402 different statuses out there. So what you can do is use this normalized status, where we go through and interpret these things and we mark it as inactive. And we're gonna put those as two different options. It's either going to be active or it's going to be inactive. And so then you can programmatically, as you integrate this into your API, and as this is processing through your software, you're going to get a feedback that says, hey, this business is active or inactive, and may prompt further note. So it can kind of take it down certain paths. Now, if I was building this, I would use that as, like I said, a programmatic decision maker and put it in the this needs questioning right here. If it's inactive, I'm going to automatically put this in stipulations, where someone's going to have to go and follow up further. And then you could display this string of suspended FTB, and then your underwriters could go through and check it and say, okay, this is something we need to dig further into, and this, or maybe not, or maybe we just decline the file altogether. I hope this has been helpful for you to see how these different statuses in the state can really vary and how it can be different for you and impact your business. I invite you to try the Secretary of State API. We have a free trial that it comes with, so you can go ahead and try it out. We also offer paid pilots, so you can try out a big number of searches and see really if the data is something that can be helpful for you. I'm Jordan Hansen. If this has been helpful at all, hit that like and subscribe button. We will help you out with what you're trying to do. Thank you.